Just outside the hotel, there is the Swedish embassy. In every single window of the Swedish embassy, there are a pyramid of lights, candles. All over Sweden now, for a month, I think it's a month before Christmas, this pyramid of candles are lit. This is very similar to what we, in the Jewish tradition, light during the days of Hanukkah, which start this year, this Friday. This Friday at sunset, we light the first of the candles on the Hanukkah. It's the candelabrium with 8 places for candles, plus the 9th one, which is called the guardian candle. Every night we add another one. So the first night is 1, the second night is 2, and the third night is 3, until we get to the last night where the whole thing is lit up, 8. I don't know if our tradition is comparable to the Scandinavian tradition of a pyramid of lights, but it seems very similar, and it brings light into the world. But what's behind the story of Hanukkah, and what's its ecological significance? And this took me a while to think about. If you remember, the story of the origins of Hanukkah comes from the story of the Maccabees, who 2,200 years ago went to battle against the Greeks that had occupied, conquered the Holy Land, the land of Israel, had taken over the temple, desecrated the temple, put gods into the temple, and tried to Hellenize the people of Israel, forbidding them to study Torah, forbidding circumcision, forbidding all things that we define as defining the Jewish character. The Maccabees revolted against that, and the war started against the Greeks. They were very successful. As it says, God was on our side, and they came to the temple. They cleared the temple of the Greek soldiers, and they found the temple in a terrible state, desecrated with pig's fat, with slaughtered animals, with just everything that is, in our eyes, unholy. The statues were broken, the animal remains were cleared out, and then they wanted to light the holy menorah, the candelabrium that stands at the entrance to the Holy of Holies. And this can only be done using pure, purified, holy olive oil. And none could be found. And they searched and searched and searched until they found hidden away 1 jar of oil, enough to last for 1 night. They poured that into the containers, and they lit the candle, and it lasted the whole night. And it lasted the next night, and the next night, and the next night. It lasted for 8 days, until they had enough time to make new oil, purify that oil, sanctify that oil, and to keep the lights burning. And this is considered the miracle of Hanukkah, that one amount of oil for 1 day lasted miraculously for 8 days. So what can we learn from this? Perhaps we can learn how to reduce our energy footprint. I am convinced that we can use much less power, much less electricity, much less fuel to get the same results. We don't need to keep our lights on all the time. We don't need to keep our air conditioners on all the time. We don't need to keep our hot water heaters on all the time. We could reduce, probably by 1/8, maybe even more, the amount of electricity that we use in order to give the same effect in the quality of our lives, without too much trouble. I recently came back from Arizona, and there all I could find was tremendous wastes. It's not all I could find, but tremendous waste of electricity, of energy. Everything taken for granted. And if I were to have the opportunity to say to President Obama what I would recommend, my elevator pitch, my salesman pitch, I would say, teach your people to use less and get more. You can get far more from much less, reduce your energy footprint, and see the miracle of bringing more light into the world that we learn from Hanukkah. So I wish everybody happy Hanukkah. I wish everybody happy Festival of Lights and happy Christmas.